Music bed.
Good afternoon po. Welcome po sa Cocinado con El Corazon. This is a family farm restaurant under the name JBT Agri Farm Taniman ni Jesus. This restaurant is managed by the Bayan family and started in year 2017. The concept is the farm to table, in which yung mga napuproduce naming mga gulay dito sa aming farm, siya yung ino-offer namin sa aming mga guests. And at the same time, to give healthy options sa ating mga visitors, sa ating mga guests when it comes to different varieties ng pagkain.
Music bed.
On behalf of the Cocinado con El Corazon by JBT Agri Farm, we would like to invite all of you to visit us here at our restaurant located at Barangay Dagatan, Amadeo, Cavite. Wherein, if you want to experience family dining, at the same time, you want to connect with nature, this is the best place for you. Once again, thank you and God bless you.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of God. Dear Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank Thee, your name. You have showered us with so many blessings, and your presence continuously reminds us of your faithfulness and guidance. We may humbly ask you to shower our speakers today with your greatest inspiration, so that they may share the most of their knowledge, heart, and soul to their respective topics. May you also absorb the invaluable expertise, experiences, and put into practice what we may learn today. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom, open our spirits so that we may know your leading and guidance, and open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love. And continue to remind us that we all do, us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, in the service of our community. We all ask these things in your name. Amen.
Alrighty. Yes, welcome everyone. Thank you
Hello,
for joining us
everyone.
on a weekend to attend this live webinar. And I am Kat
Hello,
Slody
everyone.
Chong, a PCS alumna and a member of the Paconia 97 Alumni Inc. So I hope everybody's like so excited about this topic this Saturday because I am, since today is the World Environment Day, and as a fitting contribution to this special occasion, we will channel the inner Plantita and Plantitas in you. So I know everybody can relate to that because during the pandemic, people stayed at home, don't know what to do. So that's why they started, parang okay, grow. I have to see plants, blah blah blah. Do my hobby, and one of which actually is of course has something to do with plants. So before we begin, no, I will just give a little parang reminders or house rules. If you have any questions during the presentation of our speakers, all you have to do is to type it. Sa Facebook chat box, comment box, and I will bring them up after the speaker's presentation during the Q&A. Okay? So, right. So now, without further ado, I will introduce Ms. Gia Liza Harden Neal Shrestha, a fellow PCS alumna and one of the organizers of this event, to deliver the welcome remarks and introduce the speakers that we have today.
Hello, everyone. It's such a beautiful day today. A little bit cold, but we've got sunshine, so it's great. Firstly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Gia, and I am a former graduate of Paho Catholic School, batch 1997, and we organized this webinar session in celebration of the World Environment Day. I'm currently living in Sydney for over 15 years now, and even though I grew up in the Philippines, I also call this my second home. As you can see, we grow a garden in our home. So we've got a few, we've got some vegetables and chilies and herbs here. So let me tour you around. So we've got a few chocos or sayote as we call, some chilies over there. This is bok choy, so it's good for stir frying. They're still young though, but they can grow up so quick, like kids. We've got a few more vegetables here. You can use for salad, lettuce. There's also cherry chilies over here. Look at this beautiful one. And mustard leaves. We've also got garlic and some more chilies over there. celery as well. So you can see lots of varieties of food that we can actually grow at home. Although we've got a an ample size backyard. And this is what we'd like to. Firstly, I want to credit full credits to my husband. He's got the green thumb. It was all his effort to do all of these work. And what I do is I just wash and clean them and and then serve them in our food, cook them, serve them in our dishes. So yeah, this is what we'd like to actually share with you. Having a backyard, and growing some of your food, it's actually good for our sustainability. It is it is good for our health because for mental health as well. Because when you see green and plants around you, it gives you like that sort of feel of life and energy. There's hope, and also it's good for our ecosystem. It gives you fresh air, good oxygen around you. And yeah, so I'm not a gardener myself, but I remember when I was little, at around age 7 or 8, I remember that I was able to grow ampalaya or bitter melon. It turned out to be very sweet, so I guess I've got a green thumb too. So yeah, let me introduce to you our credible speakers today, who will be talking about urban farming and backyard gardening. So our first speaker is Irwin Belen. He will be discussing or talking about backyard gardening in a small space environment or a big backyard. So an urban licensed agriculturist, geospatialist, soil scientist, and digital agriculturist. He is an innovation associate of Global Innovation Management Institute. As to his educational background, he is currently completing his master's degree in science in innovation and business at the Asian Institute Management. He has completed Bachelor of Science in Agriculture at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. He majored soil science, specializing in soil fertility. He is an experienced worker for agriculture and food security, a leader and innovator of various projects, and a firm advocate of urban agriculture for food security. So that's Irwin Belen. Now, our second speaker is going to talk about urban farming, and his name is Professor Julius Tibayan. He is a full-time faculty member of De La Salle University in Dasmariñas. He is a Lasallian educator with 17 years of instructional experience in the undergraduate level. He teaches Civic Welfare Training Service, a government mandated program that is designed to enhance the civic consciousness of students by developing the value of service and commitment for the betterment of communities. He has long been involved in teaching, mentoring, textbook writing, and training. He also used to be part of a small but dynamic handling the internally initiated resource mobilization programs and projects of De La Salle University Das Marinas. Outside the university, he is a full-fledged farmer and business owner. Together with his family, he manages the JBT Agri Farm and Tanima ni Jesus, a family-owned farm in the Gatan Amadeo, Cavite. He advocates farming and considers it a profession of hope. Definitely agree to that. So, yeah, we welcome those speakers today, the credible speakers for this webinar, and I hope you enjoy listening to them. On to you, speakers. Have a good day.
Thank you, Gia, and thanks for touring us around your garden. It was so awesome. So, as what Gia mentioned, that I hope that you guys are so tied up to learn more about what our speakers will discuss today. Let me just give a very, very quick roundup as to what Gia mentioned earlier regarding our speakers. So, first, our first topic will be about gardening in the backyard and small spaces, to be presented by Mr. Irwin Belen, co-founder and managing director of Farm One Philippines. Good morning and welcome, Sir Irwin. Are you there?
Hi, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, Sir Irwin. Are you ready to present, sir?
Yes, I'll just Share my stats.
Okay. Yay. We're so excited.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah.
Take it ahead.
Um again, good morning everyone. Magandang umaga po. And I'll be discussing this morning growing your own. So just a bit of a background of what I'm doing. So actually, this is part of my personal advocacy on what I call urban agriculture PH. So this started as a Facebook page in 2017. And until now, it has been a go-to resource page for news, tips, and tricks on how to do urban agriculture. So yeah, I'm Erwin Belen, and I am a licensed agriculturist. And I actually love lettuce, but I abhor okra and ampalaya. But I'm still trying to eat them. And I've been doing consultancy projects for various urban agriculture um, farms in Metro Manila. So why urban agriculture? So food access in Metro Manila is always threatened since most of our food actually is coming from provinces. And what if the food supply is cut? And we have seen that. Especially nung nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic, nakita natin yung presyo ng gulay, it went up. And hindi lang yon yung nagkaroon ng problema. Even pork, we have ASF, we have avian flu for poultry. So what if the food supply is cut? And another problem in Metro Manila is the solid waste management. So it remains one of the biggest challenges in urban communities on how to dispose solid waste. And usually, we dump them sa mga landfills. So how can we solve these two problems? So in urban agriculture PH, we developed the waste to waste system. So waste to waste system, it's a community supported agriculture and we provide accessible food for all. So what is waste to waste? Siyempre, as a farm, we produce food. So we produce vegetables. So we have an urban farm and it produces high value crops. So vegetables and herbs. And we also do what other farms are doing. So composting, so planting, watering the plant, and we always look at the farm as a business model. So somehow meron pa rin yung trade-offs. We have sales, we have trading. So that's the usual flow for a farm. However, what makes this model different? So we try to put in the sustainability. Sorry about that. So we try to put in sustainability. And as I said earlier, so it's being supported by the community. So every day the community is producing its waste. So yung mga basura natin, what we do is we bring them to the farm. So ano ginagawa ng farm? We recycle yung mga pwedeng i-recycle and then we compost yung mga biodegradables natin. So in recycling, we use yung mga PET bottles. We use them as plant pots or other tools. And then yung mga biodegradables, yung mga uh, food waste galing sa mga karinderya. So we recycle them, we compost them, at ginagamit natin sa farm. So in return, binabalik ng farm yung gulay. So we produce cheaper food which is accessible for consumption ng mga taga-barangay. So all in all, ito yung waste-to-waste system natin. What are the long-term outcomes that we're looking at? So first is no one is left hungry. So dahil our food source is within the community, so mas madali nga yung ma-access ng mga tao may gulay dito sa farm, pwede ako dito pumili, hindi na ako pupunta ng palengke. And nila, mas mura. Fresh food is always available at a cheaper price. Bakit cheaper? Because yung inputs natin are less. So instead of buying fertilizers, so yung compost natin yun yung source ng nutrients sa ating halaman. And instead of transporting the food coming from the provinces and then palengke, bibili natin, mas mura yung food kasi we buy it at source. Third, we are promoting health and well-being to the people. Some people have been doing urban agriculture as part of their leisure, as part of their pastime, and we all know that vegetables are source of nutrients for us. So that's one of the outcomes that we're looking at with urban agriculture. Fourth is environmental awareness. So when we do waste to waste, so nalilesen natin yung mga basura natin. In relation to the fifth outcome, nare-reduce natin yung basura na napoproduce. And at the same time, when we plant more vegetables, so alam natin, coming back from our basic biology, na plants are capable of doing photosynthesis. So the more photosynthesis, the more oxygen yung napoproduce natin within the city. And yeah, fifth is the reduction of the waste being produced for the landfills. So what are the components of the project? So first, we assess the farm. So we assess the needs of the community and we tailor fit the solutions depending on the requirements. Kasi merong mga communities na they have very large lots. Pero meron din communities na maliliit lang. So we try to adjust to ano yung meron, kung ano yung meron. Second, we provide training. We teach them how to do farming, how to plant properly, when should they water, etc. And third is awareness on the proper waste segregation. So these three are very important, especially in doing urban agriculture on to be purposive about it. So I'll be showing a video on about urban agriculture, what we have been doing in urban agriculture. So, can you share this for the video?
Business district like Makati City, pockets of green may be the last thing you'd expect to see. So it's always a breath of fresh air when you find something like this. A micro farm hidden at a small corner in the village of East Rembo.
Welcome po sa Clean and Green Garden ng Barangay East Rembo, Makati City. Tuloy po tayo.
What was once a residual lot is now a picture of sustainability. Here at the Urban Garden, plants serve as a lung for the village, while waste materials also find new life.
Ito po ang aming tinatawag na composting pit. So may mga tao po kami na everyday nangunguha sila ng mga market waste, saka food waste. Sinasanay na rin po namin ng mga tao na matuto mag-segregate, na hindi yung basta at nagtatapos sila. And then, pag ayan po, pwedeng gamitin, halimbawa, instead na hollow blocks pong gamitin, ito na po ang gagamitin. Ano ng semento. Pwede rin po siya gawing mesa o upuan.
Resident volunteers have been planting their own seeds for quite some time, but it wasn't until agriculturist Erwin Belen came in that they found smarter ways to cultivate their land.
Nung nakita namin din itong area, yung mga tao, interested sila in doing urban agriculture. Kaya lang, wala sila nung technical expertise. Yung lupa kasi natin, lalo dito sa Metro Manila, medyo hindi na siya ganun kataba. Plus, ano rin yun, mataas din yung mga heavy metals, kaya hindi rin talaga suggested na magtanim directly sa lupa. So nagturo rin tayo ng isang parang special na container gamit yung mga PET bottles. So ang tawag natin din is Enhanced Potting Preparation o EPP. Hindi sila nagdidilig araw-araw kasi yung lagayan niya meron siyang water reservoir.
Pechay, mustasa, kamatis, talong, ay okra. Ito po yung aming sitaw at saka yung maliit naming taniman ng ampalaya at saka sili. Kahit maliit lang ang space mo, kung marunong kang mag-ayos ng garden mo by means of urban farming, makakagawa ka ng garden na maganda.
Meron din kaming herbal o medicinal plants. Isa rin po sa pinararami namin, itong tawa-tawa. Isa to sa nagpapataas po ng platelet ng isang tao. Katulad niyan po, may dengue outbreak tayo. Marami na rin pong humihingi sa atin ng gamot na to.
Pag may mga meeting kami sa barangay, dito na rin kami kumukuha ng mga vegetable talaga na ginagamit namin. So, pinapakinabangan na talaga.
Locals also learned the magic of a so-called waste-to-waste system, where residents can harvest crops in exchange for their plastic bottles.
Ngayon, yung volume ng mga recyclables, pinapalitan din po namin ng gulay para mabawasan po yung aming mga basura dito sa Makati.
Village officials say while their goal is to further nurture their green space, the greater dream is for every household to grow food in their own backyards.
Paano kung magkaroon ng bagyo, hindi makarating yung gulay galing ng probinsya? At kung may dumating man, napakamahal. May introduce namin sa komunidad, hindi na sila mahihirapang kasi may sarili na silang tanim.
Pangarap talaga namin dito sa Barangay Estrembo na magkaroon pa ng mga urban farming na ganito, although nasa city ka, pero talagang magagawa mo kung talagang gugustuhin mo at sana mapalaki pa namin talaga.
Nung napaganda na namin yung farm, nung pumasok ako, umiyak ako. Kasi sabi ko, ito na yung bunga nung napaghirapan namin for the past months na ina-establish namin siya. For me, as an agriculturist, parang somehow napufulfill yung profession ko, yung mission ko, na talagang mag-produce ng food para sa mga tao.
And that's
Okay.
another inspiring story
Sige
on
po.
Think Possible. If you know of
Okay, ayan. So, with the video, so we have seen what we have done with Barangay Estrembo. And continuing with the presentation, actually, so what should be our mindset in doing urban agriculture? So, I'll be sharing you some tips and how to start, basically. Again, just to review, what is urban agriculture? So urban agriculture, well, in other terms, is living in the city. So um, this is the art and science of producing food within the confines of small spaces. Because in urban areas, so as we know, masikip and limited lang yung areas, unlike sa bukid na maraming lupa. Pero it's an art and science of how to farm within that small confines. And we are maximizing the area for food production. And we use different methods to achieve this. So, bakit urban agriculture? Why should we do urban agriculture? First is food security. So, we have seen people moving from the rural areas to Metro Manila or even other urban areas in the Philippines because the opportunity is there. And also, as they move, nawawalan din ng tao dun sa food production natin. So, our farmers are aging. And on average, their age is about 57 years old or even more. So, sino na ngayon yung magtatanim for us or sino yung magpo-produce ng pagkain natin? And we have seen yung production levels ng Pilipinas bumaba. Second is we are having fresh food. So as I said earlier, the food is sourced within the community. Or actually, even in our homes, you can source your own food. So kung tayo ay pwede po magtanim, alam natin yung itinatanim natin. Another thing that's important is we know what we put in to our food. So it's not bought from supermarkets or sa palengke. And we know what we put in. Halimbawa, pesticides, we don't know how much residue is left dun sa mga binibili natin sa palengke. Pero if we grow our own, so you know what you put in. Alam mo kung may chemicals yan o wala. Third is nutritious. Food is nutritious. We all know that vegetables are it satisfies our food requirement. So if you remember yung food pyramid natin, so one of our requirements is vegetables actually. And yun yung tinatawag natin na go, glow, and grow. So yung glow, that's yung vegetables and fruits is part ng glow. Fourth is environmental awareness. So as I said earlier, this is part of doing greening in the city. And we address pollution and solid wastes. Fifth is personal well-being. So, yung iba, as I said earlier, ito yung pastime nila and especially mga senior citizens. When I talk to some, ito yung ano nila, panglabas ng stress or they do it with their grandkids. So, leisure and pastime basically. And six, some are entrepreneurial. So they produce the vegetables and then they sell it. So there's nothing bad about it. And at the same time, it provides income to the family as well. And even savings as well. So just to give you some basics and tips on doing urban agriculture. So what to consider in starting your own farm? So first is area and location. So you need to know where will you plant. Second is the availability of resources. So seeds, water, soil media. Third is who will manage the farm. So maybe yourself, halimbawa you have spare time or you can ask someone to look over the farm. And fourth is the willingness to manage the farm. So first, let's talk about the area and location. So, ano ba yung requirement? Gaano ba kalaki? How big is the area? Is it 10 square meters, 20, 30, 50, 100? Parang, it, minsan yun yung ano dito tayo nagkakaroon ng analysis paralysis. Paano ba ako magsisimula? Kailangan ba malaki o maliit? Kailangan ba nasa rooftop? Or pwede bang nasa bintana lang? Nasa bakuran? Actually, the answer is anywhere. As long as you provide the plant requirements that is needed by the plants. So what are those plant requirements? So first is sunlight. Okay, for leafy vegetables, so lettuce, kangkong, petchay, you need at least 4 hours of direct sunlight. For fruit-bearing vegetables, so you need at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. So almost a day. For water, syempre kailangan din ng halaman ng tubig. Water as needed. So before, ang thinking natin is kailangan kung magdilig ng umaga tapos okay na or yung iba hapon. Pero ang kailangan po talaga ng halaman is they need water as needed. And like us humans, ang halaman is nauuhaw din sila. So, there are actually signs na kailan ba tayo dapat magdilig. So, kapag we're planting in plant pots, so the soil in container dries up faster. So, we need to monitor yung soil moisture. And as well, we do not put overwater. So the rule of thumb is you need to water at least an inch of water per week during the growing season. So When we say na an inch of water, that's the level ng water from the surface pababa. And as I said, may mga sign or mga symptoms pag nakikita natin na uhaw na yung halaman. So once we see na nagkakaroon ng wilting or nalalanta yung mga dahon, so this is a visual sign that plants are needing water. So parang tao, kapag ang tao ay nauuhaw, so ang halaman din ganon. Okay, third plant requirement is space. And like human, plants also need to do social distancing. So they need space basically. And nakikita natin to when we go through rice fields. Makikita nyo may spacing yung mga rice plant. So first, bakit siya kailangan gawin? To prevent the spread of disease. So same with COVID-19, when we do social distancing, plants also do, we need to have this spacing for them to prevent disease spread. And efficient yung use na resources natin when we do spacing for the plants. So there's no competition for sunlight, for water, and for nutrient. Next na kailangan po natin ay soil media or the soil. Saan ba natin siya itinatanim? So, yung lupa, kailangan may nutrients and water. So, no actual soil necessary. So, parang mahirap magtanim. Lupa, pero no actual soil. Actually, ano yung requirements natin? Discuss ko muna, ano yung hinahanap natin sa lupa. Kailangan porous, buwagha. Second, it holds water. And third, it has nutrients. So, ano yung mga example ng soil media that we use? So, garden soil. Garden soil actually is 1/3 compost, 1/3 na actual soil, and 1/3 na sand. So, yun yung mix ng garden soil. Another soil media is vermicast. Vermicast, this is the worm castings, yung dumi ng bulate. Third is compost. Yung mga nabubulok natin, we can incorporate them sa soil and then doon tayo magtatanim. Heated soil, sand, and then carbonized rice hull or yung sinunog na ipa. What we do actually is we mix and match yung mga soil media. Halimbawa, vermicast. Vermicast is malagkit pero mataas yung nutrients niya tsaka it can hold water. So what we usually do, we mix it with sand or carbonized rice hull para maging buwagag siya. Kasi ang sand, it cannot hold water, it cannot hold nutrients, pero porous siya. So, or same with carbonized rice hull. So, we mix this soil media, para we get the optimal or the ideal soil para sa mga halaman. Okay, next requirement is the seed. So, and other planting materials. Just a tip, so find a good seed source. And how can we find a good seed source? Actually, it's research then. So we need to ask or we need to consult Google what are the good seeds, or even yung mga kakilala natin na nagtatanim, ask them where are they getting their seeds. So kailangan din natin malaman, are we using open pollinated variety or hybrid seeds? So gagamit ba tayo ng cuttings or other propagules? For cuttings, common yan for herbs or alugbati, tsaka kamote. So, hindi tayo gagamit ng actual seed but we cut a plant part, then itinatanim natin para yun yung lalaki. Also, some farmers are doing seed sharing. So, Pag nakita nila na, uy, maganda yung tubo ng halaman mo, pwede bang humingi ng seed? So that's the usual thing that is being done for seeds. And syempre, once we plant the seeds, sisibol yan, magiging seedling, and then transplant natin. So when transplanting, you can use seedling trays or seed beds in germination. And then what to look out is when the seedling produces its first pair of true leaves, or when we count the number of leaves. So we count to 4. Kapag 4 na yung dahon niya, pwede na natin siyang ilipat. Or if you're not using seedling trays, as seen earlier, so you can plant it sa seed bed, and then when you transfer it, just make sure that the roots are not disturbed. So you can use a spoon or a trowel when transplanting. And we transplant during the afternoon. Why afternoon? Kasi kapag hapon, dadaan yung gabi, ah, may time for recovery yung ating mga halaman. Unlike kapag tinanim siya natin ng umaga, so pagdating ng tanghali, sobrang init, matutunaw yung ating halaman. So we plant in the afternoon para makarecover siya over the night, and then the next day, okay na siya. Also, the thing with doing urban agriculture is we need to provide time. So based on studies, so a 30 square meter garden needs 2 hours per day. So that includes all farming activities, including watering, fertilization, planting, other things. So as we say, it takes time, even in farming. Some other tips, so you grow what you eat. You won't, if you won't eat it, don't grow it. Kasi masasayang din. So ako, for example, since I love lettuce, I plant lettuce. Pero if hindi ko gusto yung gulay, hindi ko siya itatanim para hindi naman siya masayang. Focus on the vegetables you want. And then start small and then scale up. So there are a lot of farmers or starting farmers na gusto nila malaki kagad. Pero it's better to start small, and then as you grow bigger, or as you want to expand your farming, so dun sila natututo eh. A small, well-tended garden is better than a large, poorly tended farm. And also, madaling makapagod kapag you have a big farm and then hindi ka sanay, nakakapagod po ang magtanim din. Pero if we start small, or even we start with one plant, and then doon tayo matututo. Garden up instead of out. So when we say that garden up, so it means growing vertical. So as you see in the photo, yung pagtatanim natin is pataas para ma-maximize natin yung space, and we can grow more plants in less space. And we also do proper pest management. So when what we usually do is we manually pick insect pests. So we do not resort immediately for chemical pesticide. Pero what we do is we get the insect, and then iaalis natin siya from the plant. So we can use mechanical methods such as traps. So if you're familiar with the fly trap, yung nabibili natin sa supermarket na yellow paper na merong sticky substance, we also have traps for insect pests. Or actually, you can also make your own homemade pesticides. So you need also to invest on good tools. So you always need to keep them sharp and clean. And good tools saves you time and effort. So maraming yung nagkakaroon ng hesitation on doing urban agriculture. Pero actually what you need is to just jump in and plant. Kaya yun lang yung kailangan po natin gawin. And if you give it a try, you can learn as you go along, as you start your journey in farming. And ito yung lagi ko po sinasabi na kung hindi siya nag-work for the first time, there's always next time in farming. Po, just to share, I tried planting a whole batch of lettuce, pero namatay lahat sila because I forgot to water them. So the next time, alam ko na yung gagawin kasi ito yung naging mali ko nung nakaraan. And you won't know what works best until you try. So we need to shun perfectionism. So maybe just to start something, I would encourage you to do this enhanced potting preparation. So this container farming method is actually developed by one of our professors in UP Los Baños, and it uses Coke bottles. So specifically yung 1.5 na Coke bottle. So yung ilalim, the water, yun yung magiging water reservoir. And then the upper part, dun tayo magtatanim ng halaman. So paano ba siya ginagawa? So meron tayong 1.5 bottle, hahatiin natin siya sa dalawa. And then babalik rin natin yung upper part. Sa upper part, dun tayo maglalagay ng soil, and then dun tayo magtatanim. And important to have drainage holes. So, naglalagay tayo ng drainage holes para when we put water, merong sasalo ng tubig sa ilalim. And kapag halimbawa tayo ay alis for a week and walang magdidilig sa ating halaman, so pwedeng maglagay din tayo ng tubig doon sa ilalim para may reserve water na yung ating halaman. And pagbalik natin, buhay pa rin naman yung ating halaman. So there, yun lamang po, and I hope we make our communities more sustainable. So join us in doing urban agriculture. And with that, maraming salamat po again maraming salamat for inviting me, for sharing my advocacy in urban agriculture. You can also visit our Facebook page and Instagram on what we do in urban agriculture. So yun lamang po at maraming salamat.
Alrighty, thank you to Erwin. That's for that succinct presentation about urban agriculture. No, so well, actually, it's really important nowadays, and it doesn't matter if you have a big or a small lot. Sabi mo nga kanina, as it only takes a patch of soil, a shovel, kumaga, an initiative, diba, to start somewhere, right? And a bag of seeds, and voila, diba? You will be able to provide the sustenance and satisfaction for yourself and your family. But this is really very interesting. Thank you for that succinct presentation. And I myself, I'm pretty much intrigued about it. Actually tried and attempted as well. And well, listening to you parang made me realize na, okay, don't quit, try and try until you get it right. So thanks for the push. And I think it looks like we have a Q&A for you, sir. So guys, so we've taken down notes of the questions of the Q&A while Sir Erwin was presenting. So let me start. I do have a question myself personally. Sir Erwin, about urban agriculture. So yeah, it's something very meticulous to do, right? So you have a social media as a channel to spread the awareness about urban agriculture. But do you think that that's enough? Do you think that we need like key opinion leaders to talk about it? Let me say, because it has a nice impact to the society. So that's my question, sir. I mean, in terms of awareness, because only some people are pretty much
Mm-mm.
familiar about this.
Mm-mm.
So how do we spread awareness about urban agriculture and how easy it is, diba?
Okay. Social media actually helps naman on doing the advocacy work, but it's more important to do it on actual terms rather than I share it on social media. Excuse me. So what we did was, so we started our initial farm in Barangay East Rembo.
Yep.
And then the next year, actually, nagkaroon pa kami ng isa pang farm sa Barangay Suksan sa Taguig. But this one is in partnership with an NGO focusing on hunger. So we really need to do groundwork in to see ano ba yung effect niya. And we have seen different farms na lumago ngayong nagkaroon ng pandemic. So it's more important to do it on ground and then we share it on social media. For me, I see social media kasi as parang vehicle to multiply yung
Yeah, it's a platform, yeah.
Oo,
Mm.
parang mas marami yung maabot. Pero more importantly, we need to focus talaga on the ground. And we see the people na, ito yung effect pala of doing urban agriculture and nakikita nila yung benefit.
Actually, it's a well to me. Like to be honest, now I have a clear idea as to what urban agriculture is, and the thing is, yun nga, I am very fortunate enough to be part of this live stream to listen to your presentation. Hopefully, that we can, through our batchmates, we can, share more information about urban agriculture and how it can help our sustain our society. So I have a couple more questions, sir. So, which are the best indoor plants that you can recommend?
Um, well, for starters, actually, I would suggest to do leafy vegetables. Kasi leafy vegetables are faster to grow. Pero it really depends. If you want to grow tomatoes, so actually you can grow tomatoes, pero it will take you at least 2 months before you harvest. Pero if you want fast plants and then just to try lang. So you can start with leafy vegetables and then as you grow, you can plant other crops as well.
Okay. Well, when you mentioned kanina na parang plant start with tomatoes, parang I kind of did that when I was in grade school. So parang it was, yeah, and what else? I can't remember. Wait, it's like parang mungo seeds or something. So yun, it was nice when everything's like parang, oh, you have to harvest na and then you harvested your own tomatoes for your pasta, ganyan. Sa sarili mong garden, ganyan. Or sa pot nga lang, actually. So parang it's easy to grow. So like right now, ewan ko, crossing my fingers, sana makapag-grow din ako ng lemon tree. And this kind of climate. So yun, nice. And yeah, it's a good parang way of de-stressing as well. So
Nice.
parang it's an achievement every time you see that your plant is growing day by day. So yun, parang oh my god, there's progress, ganyan. So yun.
Actually, it helps to, parang to take a picture of what you're doing
Yes,
and
I'm
then
doing that.
babalikan mo siya. 'Di ba parang from day one, ito yung nangyari and then until you harvest, ito pala yung naging journey ng halaman ko na I
Yeah.
took care of this plant for X number of days and makikita mo siya na ito na siya after this day. So I think it helps to encourage yourself and even to parang pampalakas ng loob na okay, I want to expand. So I
Yes.
think that also should be parang yun yung motivation mo of doing urban
Mm-mm.
farming.
Yeah, actually, when you said yung parang taking photos, I know I often do that, like day one up until 3 of a month, and then like, oh my God, how it progressed, how it grew, ganyan. I was like, wala lang, parang ang babaw, pero to me, it's an achievement.
Mhm.
So parang kaya, I mean, yeah, especially nga, yun nga, um, during this time, diba, parang we need to be entertained.
Mm.
And I think one form of entertainment, and to me personally, is urban urban farming, urban agriculture, and taking care of plants. So parang sometimes kasi it gives us head space as well.
Yes.
So parang not too much online. So at least you're one with nature. And as
Yes.
what Dia mentioned, it's green and it's gives you hope, diba? So
Mm.
anxiety, kumbaga, lessens because of this. So parang yun, at least you do something that is good for the society and good for yourself as well. Diba?
Yes.
And sir, another question. Which is better, planters or planting in the soil? Planters or planting in the soil? Yeah.
Sorry, the question is planting in containers?
Yeah, containers or planting in the soil.
Okay. Well, ako personally, in my opinion, if you're in Metro Manila, it's hard to plant directly to soil
Mm-hmm.
because yung possible na mataas yung toxicity ng lupa,
Yeah.
and at the same time, we do not know. I mean, uh, pwede kasi halimbawa if you're especially if you're near rivers, so hindi natin alam kung ano yung meron dun sa lupa.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would suggest to grow in containers. Una, you can put in the soil that is needed. So halimbawa, you go to a hardware, so meron na silang mga available na potting mix. So we can try growing plants there. Pero if you know naman or if you check the quality naman ng soil, and then if it has high nutrients and it can hold water, okay lang naman din to plant directly sa soil. But yun nga lang, we should be aware of that risk of getting or knowing what's in the soil.
Yeah.
So, yun. Pero ano naman, I have seen other farms in Metro Manila na doing well when they planted directly sa soil. Pero yun na nga, we just take some precautions lang.
Right. Totally agree on you with that, Sir Erwin. We have this program with Robinson Smalls called Locally Sourced. So and it's in partnership with Kadiwa. So actually they give free seedlings so
Mhm.
that people who goes to that parang weekend market can, plant the seeds that is being given for free. Para yun nga, the world is changing and we have to adjust to it. Diba? We can't just be complacent about it, sir. So this is really, really good. And I think one last question.
Mhm.
As many urban dwellers live in an apartment, no? Um,
Mm.
parang many have to parang go to vertical what's this? Vertical way of parang farming. What kumbaga, what is the impact to that? I mean, like, what are you noticing in terms of people getting creative in growing their plants inside their, of course, apartments, their condos, diba?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, actually, for people who plant their own food, so at least less yung gastos nila when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to their expenses because instead of going to the supermarket or the palengke, nakakatipid na sila. Una, with the transportation. So you
Mm-hmm.
do not need to pay for your jeepney. And then second, nakakatipid din sila with their vegetables. Kasi yung vegetables natin, syempre mas mahal yon.
Yeah.
Um, yung vendor, they have to profit. Third,
Correct,
minsan yung
correct.
iba sinasabi sa akin nung iba ko nakakausap, ah, nakakatipid na ako kasi yung anak ko hindi ko na binibilhan ng pasalubong eh. Kasi the
Right.
common is the common
Very cute
trade
na.
is Pag pupunta sa palengke, oy, bibilhan ka ng pasalubong yung anak ko.
Right.
And then, syempre, mamamasahe ka pa rin. So, wala kang gastos. When you plant your own, di ba, pupunta ka lang with your backyard and then get what you
Yeah.
need, lutuin mo na lang. Mas fresh pa. So, that's one thing that I noticed. And then, syempre, may tinatawag din kasi tayo na edible landscaping. So,
Edible.
whatever is in our environment or once we plant, so mas napapaganda niya yung area.
Right.
So, something that we're also looking at is how can we put landscaping into an area and at the same time functional siya. So, those are some of the impacts that we're looking at with urban agriculture.
Right. Thank you very much, Sir Erwin. Actually, personally, I really learned a lot. As in, totally, I still have tons of questions. I was writing down a bunch of questions here in my tiny notebook, but I think I need to wrap things up. Pero kulang, but we will get in touch with you, Sir Erwin, personally, because I'm pretty much interested with this. And you know, actually, there are a lot of questions that I haven't read. Essentially, it's mostly my questions that I read because I'm so interested. So, yun. Pero we can have another Q&A later if you're still available, sir. So, parang, but thank you very much for parang inspiring us to like do urban agriculture, urban farming, and how succinct you presented it is like parang wow, parang it's so easy. I mean like parang it's not laborious, ganyan. So it's so inspiring and thank you for that. So okay, I was like asking the team, hey, can we get his deck? I mean, or a copy of his deck because it's parang it's an eye opener. So I'm a marketing person as well. So that's why parang hey, I wanna spread the news about this. So parang this is a good advocacy. So galing. And then your waste to waste system, okay din siya. So parang that is really incredible na we really need that. So wala, we don't know where to dispose our trash anymore. So why don't we use it? So there. But again, sir, later we'll have another Q&A. Thank you so much for that
Thank you
very
rin.
interesting presentation. I hope that our viewers learned a lot from Sir Erwin, but he will be back later. But in the meantime, I would like you guys to like chill and sit back and relax as we take a short break and take a moment of pleasure as our very own batchmate Jerome Dizon will perform a beautiful song for us. Hit it, Jerome.
Tell me something when the rain falls on my face. How do you quickly replace it with a golden summer smile? Tell me something when I'm feeling tired and afraid. How do you know just what to say to make everything alright? I don't think that you even realize the joy you make me feel when I'm inside your universe. You hold me like I'm the one who's precious. I hate to break it to you, but it's just the other way around. You can take the stars all you want, but I'll always be the lucky one. Tell me something when I'm about to lose control. How do you patiently hold my hand and gently calm me down? Tell me something when you sing and when you laugh. Why do I always photograph My heart flying away above the clouds. I don't think that you even realize the joy you make me feel when I'm inside your universe. You hold me like I'm the one who's precious. I hate to break into you, but it's just the other way around. You can take the stars all you want, but I'll always be the lucky one. Whoa, whoa, I don't think that you even realize the joy you make me feel when I'm inside your universe. You hold me like I'm the one who's precious. I hate to break into you, but it's just the other way around. You can take the stars all you want, but I'll always be the lucky one. You can take the stars all you want, but I'll always be the lucky one. I'll always be the lucky one. I'll always be the lucky one.
Thank you so much, Jerome, for always gracing us with a very, very nice performance. Diba? Sana we should be the lucky one this year to para hopefully wala ng pandemic. And then at the same time, sana um, everybody would feel the positivity, diba? So there. So now since you guys have a few minutes na naka-relax kayo, no? I would like to well actually I would like to introduce our second speaker. So and of course our last topic has something to do with urban farming, to be presented by Mr. Julius M. Tibayan, a professor of De La Salle University in Dasmariñas and a co-owner of Taniman ni Jesus at and JBT Agri Farm. So I would like to welcome Mr. Julius. Sir, are you there? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Sir
So I'll
Julius.
just share my
Yes.
screen.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on a Saturday.
Ma'am Katz, nag-a-appear po yung aking presentation.
Um, Wait, yes. Hold on, sir. No, actually, what is projecting right now on my screen is ano po, sir? The our videos, two videos, split videos.
Okay.
And reshare. Yeah, there. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, we can see now already.
Okay.
Take it away, sir.
So by the way, medyo late na po ata yung request ko na I will request something to Ma'am Jem na kung pwede mag-intermission number na lang po ako. But a pleasant morning to all of you. On behalf of the JBT Agri Farm or the Taniman ni Jesus, first of all, we wish to commend your batch, the Paconian batch class of 97, for your active participation, especially by organizing this kind of event, a fundraising event, a tree planting fundraising event, and other worthwhile activities. I am very much sure that it will strengthen the class camaraderie, at the same time the brotherhood of your batch. And I hope and I pray that somehow it will be a successful activity. So once again, it is my pleasure to be invited on this webinar series. I enjoy, even though I am a practitioner in terms of the agriculture or urban farming, but definitely I enjoy listening, especially from the talk of Sir Erwin Bilen. Um, Totoo nga na mas masarap yung nakikinig ka lang kasi napakadami nating natutunan sa kanyang talk. And it will also help me in the manner that I will focus on more of our story because the technical know-how or the technical side was clearly explained by Sir Erwin. And I salute, sir, the advocacy of your organization, of your institution. Um, it is also our farm advocacy, our advocacy to do such kind of activity in our local community. And at the same time, both of us with Ma'am Gemma Maison, we are involved in advancement, university advancement, and we are thinking of partnership, a novelist partnership between your institution and our institution, the De La Salle University Das Marinas, because we are handling students, our youth sector, the young generation, in terms of helping our national government, in terms of helping our community, our partner community, in terms of nation building. So once again, I am Julius M. Tibayan. I am representing two organization or two institution. First is I'm a full-time faculty of De La Salle University, Das Marinas, here in Cavite, Philippines. And at the same time, I'm also representing our family, my family, the JBT Agri Farm or the Taniman ni Jesus. I titled my presentation as Farm Advocacy, the Rise of Urban Farming. So my presentation will revolve on the following topics, no. First is I will introduce to you what maybe I considered um, it could be a light bulb or it could be sabihin natin na main reason why we are in this kind of profession. Second is I will talk of our service, not merely the product, but of course, katulad din nung what is the message of the Paco Catholic School, the nobility obligates. It's by way of giving back to the community. I will share to you our service to our community. At the same time, what are the challenges that we are facing right now as local farmers. And it could be my last part is the success stories. I prepared a simple video presentation that will summarize everything about our involvement in urban farming or urban gardening. So first, I would like to acknowledge, no, my resources for this presentation. I use this book, the Just Enough. Ito po yung isa sa pinaka paborito kong libro na palagi kong binabasa. It's Lessons in Living Green from traditional Japan. So ito po ay isa sa nagiging reflection ko when it comes to identifying the different environmental problems and how can we think of a solution, a possible solution wherein it will not harm or it will not aggravate or it will not add do sa tinatawag natin na mga environmental issues and problems na kinakaharap natin. And second is I use this book, the uh, the book published by Senator Kiko Pangilinan. It's mga kwento mula sa pagiging magsasaka di Tagsibol. Dito naaalala ko yung aking pagkabata na kung saan na paano kami ni-raise ng aming parents when it comes to introducing the urban farming or the farming and the agriculture as a whole. And third is what is the most important for me is the message of our Holy Father Pope Francis. When I read his pastoral letter, the encyclical letter, it says all about the on care of for our common home. Meaning, bawat isa sa atin, each and every citizen of this nation has responsibility, social responsibility, not only sa kapwa natin, but definitely sa ating environment. Lahat ng bagay is magkakaugnay. Kailangan na nandun palagi yung ating concern when it comes to conservation, when it comes to environmental protection. And the fourth resources, no, or source for my presentation this morning is from the Department of Agriculture. As a local farm holder, we are in support of the projects done by our national government. And one of those is the Plant program. This is our answer dun sa mentioned by Sir Erwin, the food insecurity, the hunger. This is the best or this is our main resource, our main answer to that particular problem of our society. Part 1 is the introduction. I would like to basically I start my sharing, my reflection with this question. You know what fires me up and keeps me going. Though napakahirap dahil um, it's because of the pandemic, no? Even as producers ng pagkain ay kinakaharap din namin yung iba't ibang problema, no? In terms of distribution, in terms of how to sustain yung aming mga farm workers, the farm inputs kasi napakalaki po ng percentage ang inuubos ng mga local farmers when it comes to farm inputs, no? And I hope and we hope that my sharing will provide you ideas and inspiration that will help you to explore and reflect on your thoughts via urban farming. And one of the reason why I discuss or why I am involved, no, on this particular profession is because of this reason. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Itong isa sa mga topic even I encountered my students in De La Salle University, Dasmariñas, I always start my discussion with these 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And here, the number 1, the number 2 priorities, the number 3, number 7, number 6, all of this is related. Number 13 is related to our environment. And at the same time, if that is the of what we are doing right now will contribute dun sa tinatawag nating impact, no, sa epekto niya sa ating environment, maybe mag-a-arise talaga yung ating mga problema. At isa sa pinaka maiisip natin na solution dito is yung parehas na ina-advocate natin katulad ng binanggit ni Sir Erwin, which is the urban gardening or urban farming. And based on a research, it says that about There is an estimate shows that nearly 690 million people, that is 8.9%, almost 9, close to 9 to 10% of the world total population is experiencing hunger, pagkagutom, kakulangan sa supply ng pagkain. And this is one of the, sabihin natin, na pole vaulting project na pwede nating i-promote, no? And we thank your batch kasi ito ay isa sa pinakamagandang start para ma-encourage natin yung ating community people to be involved in urban gardening. What is urban farming? An introduction. As said on its definition, urban farming is reshaping local food system across the country. Urban farmers and gardeners are creating new opportunities for increasing the economic, social, and environmental effects of growing food in and around the cities. There are many benefits to growing food in urban areas, such as pure improved food access, education and training opportunities. Doon sa nabanggit ni Sir Erwin, napakaraming tips yung ibinigay nila sa atin. No? At the same time, the future of urban farming in the Philippines is extremely promising. Lalong-lalo na in this time of pandemic. Nakita natin kung paano naging active yung mga tao sa pagtatanim. And as the country faces the effects of urban farming, the effects of pandemic, urban farming is taking part in solving food sustainability issues. As the farming population in the Philippines continues to age and the stability of the country's food supply proves to be utmost importance. Urban farming sees value in teaching community, especially the young people, the benefits of growing their own food, on how to simplify the food chain instead of buying it, instead of considering yung ating mga tinatawag na mga convenient type of food, which is yung mga instant, no? In effect, helping create the next generation of our urban farmers. And for the second part is the creating an impact. Ano ba ang kayang gawin or kayang idulot ng ating urban farming? In our case, in our story, family story, in our farm advocacy, I would like to highlight, for me, the most I considered, no, impact done by urban farming in our community. First is the community extension program. Second is it gives us opportunity to create jobs. And third is as a change maker. We started in during the lockdown, no? Talagang directly affected kami nung pandemic dahil hindi namin mailabas yung aming mga produkto. Nahirapan kaming siyang ibenta dahil there is a restriction in terms of our movement. But instead of thinking that as a problem, we think of a viable solution or a welcome opportunity na pwede naming i-convert yung tinatawag nating threats into opportunities. No? And we started with this program, the Food Initiative, wherein yung mga napoproduce po namin ay ibinibigay natin or as a form of gift, as a form of token, especially sa sacrifice, sa time, sa sacrifice ng ating mga frontliners. So we visit yung mga checkpoints wherein nandun yung ating mga barangays or officials, at the same time yung ating law enforcement, and we choose De La Salle University Medical Center as beneficiary of this initiative program. Yes, there is a fear of contracting or getting the disease, but thank God, we are healthy, we are safe with my family members. But there is a fear of mas nakakatakot kung mas marami yung hindi nakakakuha ng tamang supply ng pagkain. At lalong-lalo na in terms of our frontliners, sila kasi yung mga nasa sila yung humaharap. So meaning yung chance na magkaroon ng sakit ay napakataas, yung probability. Second ay this is unique for us. If you are a business-minded type of person, you will think of this question whether are you going to employ or somehow consider yung ating mga kapatid with disability. And this hidden farm in Amadeo, Cavite is a great place to escape the noisy crowd. At the same time, even our servers are deaf. Sabi nga sa Bible, mas minamahal ni Jesus. Actually, Jesus, the name taniman ni Jesus is very important, no? There is a significant value para sa amin because the name of my father is Jesus Tibayan. That's why we name our farm as JBT Agri Farm or Jesus Bautista Tibayan Farm or Taniman ni Jesus. Sabi sa Bible, it was mentioned there na mas mahal ni Jesus, mas binibigyan niya ng consideration, mas tinutulungan niya, mas ipinagdadasal niya yung ating mga kapwa na mga merong disability. And part of our advocacy is we think of somehow innovation. This is a form of innovation for us na hindi naman to connected sa teknolohiya, hindi to connected sa tinatawag nating mechanization, farm mechanization, but definitely we consider this as sabihin natin crucial in terms of human resource. Kasi mas pinakamahalaga pa rin yung human resources sa lahat ng ginagawa natin. And we believe that by working together, we can create inclusive society for all people, regardless of their disability. We are honored to have inspirational brothers and sisters living with disability. At JBT Agri Farm or Taniman ni Jesus, we celebrate their success and those of other people who have conquered barriers to be change makers. Some of them are maybe maiko-consider natin na yes, there is an behavior of yung tinatawag natin na may pagiging sensitive sa mga, they are always subject sa mga bullying. Kaya kung pag-aaralan natin yung kanilang behavior, yung kanilang emotion, yung kanilang attitude, even though I'm not a psychologist graduate, but of course makikita ko yung kanilang doubt, makikita ko yung kanilang fear kapag nakaka-encounter sila ng mga ganitong problema. That's why nauuwi yun doon sa tinatawag natin na suicidal. No? Medyo pumupunta sila doon. But in our practice, in our experience, kapag nakikita nila that somehow our guests or the people who visited our farm make this kind of expression, meaning a thank you with a beautiful smile, nakikita namin yung transformation sa kanilang pagkatao. And this is one of we considered as a triumph, no? Even though we've been hit directly by the pandemic, but we feel that we are, sabihin natin na blessed, no? Mayaman kami sa aming resources, sa human resources. So nakaka-inspire po sila. What we need is to express our genuine love for them. So by using a simple sign language or a graphic boards, we can understand, or they will understand what we are saying, no? So for the third impact is we consider this as part of the gender equality, the women's empowerment. Women's empowerment or women empowerment is considered a prerequisite to achieving national food security. 50% or more than 50% of the production of our munting taniman is through the help of our mothers. So in our experience nung nagkaroon po ng pandemic, karamihan po sa kanila ang kanilang mga partners or husband ay talagang naapektuhan in terms of unemployment, nawalan sila ng pagkakataong makapaghanap buhay dahil hindi rin sila makapunta doon sa kanilang mga site or destination. So isa sa ginawa namin na initiative is to call, to invite yung aming mga neighbors, no? Especially yung mga full-time housewife, mga mothers. And here, ang isa sa ginawa natin ay we offer them the lot or yung parcel of land o yung lupa o yung plot. Binigyan natin sila ng kanya-kanyang pagtataniman. We supply them the basic tools, the basic things that we need in farming, including seedlings, soil, and some of the important aspect when it comes to urban farming. And then we have this kind of parang scheme, no? This 75-25 distribution. Meaning, after the harvest or after the effort, no, done by our mothers, kapag kaaani na tayo, nandun na yung return of investment, hahatiin namin yun dun sa dalawang scheme. 70% will go to the owner para may pang revolving fund kami, kapital, para ibili ulit ng mga kagamitan. At the same time, makapag-produce ng mga organic fertilizer. By the way, our farm is, we practice natural farming. We are in the process of certifying this farm as an organic farming by the Negros the NICERT, no? The Negros Navigation or the NICERT. So sila po yung approving body when it comes to identify your site as an organic practitioner or practice organic farming. So yun po, hahatiin natin yung kita, 75%, tama ba? 70% will go to us, and then 25% will go to the beneficiary. At 5%, yung matitirang 5%, ito yung ginagamit namin na parang common fund or share capital. Meaning, during the start of the program until the end of the, sabihin natin na yung pagtatanim o hanggang maka-harvest ka, yun yung iniipon natin. Para halimbawa, hindi na sila magtatrabaho sa amin or tapos na yung proyekto, yung special project, meron silang na-save na pera na magagamit naman nila as a source of livelihood. That is the impact number 3, the women empowerment. We believe on the contribution ng ating mga kababaihan. And fourth is the JBT Agri Farm is considered as learning site. We partner with the different institution in order to educate our people, especially the young generation, on the importance of agriculture and urban farming by teaching our students elementary, high school, college, or yung ating mga professionals, no, to become more agriculturally inclined. To insist that agriculture is not for those who are less fortunate, no? Sa mga hindi nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. Which is agriculture is for all of us, no? We consider this as a novelist profession. We motivate and inspire the younger generation to help the country's economy and ecology. So this JBT Agri Farm or our Munting Taniman, the Taniman ni Jesus, is a partner of the Agricultural Training Institute. We are done with the field validation and we receive a lot of sabihin natin na partnership no doon sa ating mga katabi na mga eskwelahan at we give it for free no yung mga trainings. And for the third part is the benefits. As mentioned by Sir Erwin, ano ba yung makikita natin or makukuha natin sa urban farming? If we are looking for a surefire way to persuade people, is urban farming worth the time and effort? So let us discover the amazing benefits of urban farming. By learning urban farming, you are developing a unique skill. Those who visited us, we expect from them na kapag tinanong namin sila, majority ba marunong magtanim? And majority will answer no. Wala silang idea or hindi madalas i-practice yung pagtatanim. And that is good. That is a positive a room for us to improve the system. By learning urban farming, yes, definitely you are developing your unique skill. You're being a person who has a green thumb. Hindi naman po tayo naniniwala na ako ay may green thumb kaya gumaganda yung halaman. As said by Sir, our previous speaker, kailangan lang nandun yung tamang proseso at tamang pangangalaga sa ating mga tanim. Napakaganda kasi ang bansa natin is rich in natural resources. Our soil here in the Philippines, lalong-lalo na po dito sa upland, ay napaka-fertile. Even though we are faced with the climate crisis, that is why naapektuhan talaga yung pattern, naapektuhan yung ating proseso ng pagtatanim. It conserves space by using a vertical or yung mga empty containers, we can also produce the same yield compared dun sa may malaking lupa. Okay? Ang kinakailangan lang natin ay maging mapamaraan lang po tayo. No? Extremely healthy food source. I'm preparing here. Meron akong dalawang container dito kung napapansin nyo po. No? Later on kasi, after my talk, yan, i-showcase ko lang po, no? After my talk, i-demonstrate po namin ito. Ito po yung tinatawag namin na mga kaibigang amag. The metarhizium. Metarhizium, if I say it correct. Kaibigang amag kasi said by Sir, kailangan mag-isip din tayo ng mga eco-friendly na mga solution sa ating mga problema. If our problem is pest or we will be looking to produce yung mga pesticide or fungicide, this kaibigang amag ay naturally prepared kasi as in amag po siya talaga. Why kaibigang amag? Kasi po, ito po yung ginagamit namin sa aming taniman na natural fungicide and insecticide. Kapag itong mga butil na to, ito po, ipakita ko sa inyo. Ito po yung mga poultry feeds, okay? Yung mga patuka sa manok. Meron lang po tayong solution na gagamitin in order to make this kind of metarhizium, no? This was given by the Department of Agriculture sa amin pong under the Municipal Agriculture Office. So yung isang bag of this will produce how many liters of metarhizium para maging insecticide and fungicide po natin. Kapag nakain siya ng halaman, itong mga bits na to, ang gagawin po niya is yung amag is babalutin yung katawan ng bugs o nung insekto at doon na siya mamamatay. So instead of using yung mga expensive, I'm sorry, medyo iniingatan ko po kasi baka mamaya magawa ko tong snack. Nandito lang sa aking tabi, no? Instead of using mga expensive uh, way or form of pesticide and insecticide, we teach our local farmers to use this kind of alternatives, no? And that will surely make or provide us a healthy food source. Kasi alam natin na hindi siya binomba. Wala siyang na-receive na any chemicals po. Less greenhouse gas emissions. Okay? Kapag ang tanim mo ay nasa paligid mo lang, urban gardening or urban home farming, there's no reason to use much fuel or much body energy in order to go to a grocery, to a market, to buy yung ating pagkain. But definitely, it will lessen yung emission natin ng ating carbon dioxide. Cheaper than buying produce or than buying yung produce from a normal supply chain, from a grocery. Kasi if you will compare, even as mga producer, mura pa rin kapag ibinebenta natin within a farm gate price. So lalong-lalo na kung tayo pa mismo yung nagtatanim, malaki yung matitipid po natin in terms of the food supply or access to food adequacy. And last is less food waste. We should learn to upcycle. We should learn to recycle. Yung mga nabubulok natin, gawin nating organic fertilizer. Okay? At napakaganda nito para sa ating mga halaman. At the same time, good for the environment. Okay? And most of all, in the presentation, is my son, Alessandro Jules. Wala na sigurong masasaya, no? That fulfillment, the fulfilling effect of urban farming or urban gardening or home farming. Kapag nakikita mo yung family mo na they are the first beneficiary or the first to sabihin natin na access dun sa ating tinatawag na supply ng pagkain. And this is also a good way to help also our children to be involved in urban farming because sa nangyayaring pandemic ngayon, we cannot explain the impact of this problem sa ating mga bata. But true enough, sa pamamagitan po ng involvement nila, nakikita natin or na-expose natin yung kanilang pagiging adventurous, yung kanilang creativity. Unlike if we will shelter them inside our house or inside our home. So it's better for them to experience, no? It's a golden opportunity na when we miss, sabi nga napakabilis ng panahon. Years from now, malalaki na sila, hindi na nila may enjoy itong mga ganitong pagkakataon. So it's a good way para ma-nurture natin yung kanilang mental health. Okay? Isa ito sa mga therapeutic na ipinopromote natin din sa De La Salle University Dasmariñas. That is why we always answer yes dun sa mga invitations na ibinibigay sa atin para makapag-provide ng mga ganitong training. And siguro, I hope that someday or one day, we can have another session at pag-aaralan naman natin yung mga return demonstration kung paano natin ipa-practice yung urban gardening or urban farming. And for the last part is, what are the challenges we face as local farmers? Mas malaki yung opportunities for us. We will not stop by just looking at these challenges. We need to make an act or to move in order to overcome these challenges. No, first is very general, not having enough land for farming. Why? Ang Pilipinas ay sabi ko kanina napakalaki ng ating resources. But of course, naandun yung palagi na isa sa nakikita natin, no, yung pagiging industrialization. We are gearing towards industrialization eh. At the same time, yung iba sa mga lots natin ay nako-convert to residential or subdivision. That is why in our town in Amadeo, here in Cavite, we have this kind of moratorium that the municipality or the city will not allow you to convert yung land to a sinasabi natin na manufacturing, residential or sabihin natin na commercial, no? Meron tayong moratorium para i-preserve yung mga lupa na to at gawin siya as agricultural to continue the tradition, to continue the legacy of our ancestors, of our elders. And second is not having an adequate capital to invest in the whole farming cycle. And third is there is a risk or severity of disasters like typhoons, drought, insects, pests, diseases, and epidemics. And last is not enough extra income from other activities within the farm. So what we think is to conceptualize or to formulate or to partner, we have this public-private partnership. Okay. The strong support of our leaders is a testament and realization that urban farming is one of the government interventions to ensure that there is enough safe and nutritious food for our countrymen. It is also enable us to survive the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Truly, it will advance inclusive growth, rural development, and win-win partnerships. So kanina na-mention ko yung kakulangan sa kapital. Pagdating sa mga farm inputs. So one of the success story that we want to share to all of us is this public-private partnership. Isa sa mga problema ng mga local farmers natin is this access to water. Okay? So meron kang tamang liwanag, but at the same time, kailangan mo rin ng patubig sa iyong mga tanim. And it is expensive for us to have this kind of water source or sabihin natin na irrigation. And because of our knowledge in terms of public-private partnership, we establish a small group or association. That association is yung ating mga kapitbahay na mga local farmers. Isa sa mga pangarap natin ay palakasin yung ating mga magsasaka, yung kanilang kakayahan, yung kanilang capacity to produce yung mga iba't ibang pagkain, no? At isa sa mga magandang nangyari is by forming an association, we come up or we able to partner with the government, with the National Irrigation Authority. So this project worth napakalaking kapital, no? Ay naitayo natin sa pamamagitan ng unity, sa pamamagitan po ng pagkakaisa. We have this shared vision. At isa sa mekanismo sa pagpapatakbo ng irrigation po is we give or we volunteer to use our lot, okay, para itayo itong source ng water. This reservoir is powered by a solar panel. So having a 20 panels that will pump a submersible motor na nakatanim sa lupa siya ang nagpo-produce ng patubig po sa ating mga farm dito sa aming lugar sa Amadeo, Cavite. Paano po siya tatakbo, no? Kami yung main source, kami po yung pinaka-admin. Sa amin po nagbabayad ng parang mga dues ang local farmers at ginagamit namin to para sa mga maintenance. So ibig sabihin, sa pamamagitan nito, less na po yung kuryente niya kasi wala po tayong binabayarang kuryente kasi this is pure powered by a solar panel. So this is one of the success story that I can share to you sa pamamagitan po ng public-private partnership. Tutulungan po tayo ng ating government. What we need is our intent. What we need is our close working relationship with our national government through our municipality or through our city. The town of the Amadeo is looking always to invigorate, no? Farming in Amadeo. They solicit support from the Department of Agriculture and National Irrigation Administration through our MAO or the Municipal Agricultural Office in launching projects and programs beneficial to agricultural sector of the town. So meaning, kanina nabanggit ko yung kakulangan ng pondo, kakulangan ng ating resources, and sa pamamagitan po ng pakikipag-tie up sa iba't ibang organization, NGOs man yan or national government, maisa sa katuparan natin yung ating mga gustong mangyari sa ating local community. And for the testimonial, I use some of the statement coming from our dear Lasallian students. It's because the urban farming is incorporated, no, or included in our subject in National Service Training Program, wherein in this time of pandemic, wala tayong face-to-face. Ano yung isa sa pinaka magandang gawin ng ating mga estudyante in order to contribute dun sa ating plan program is to practice home farming. And one of our students says, in relation to our environmental advocacy, as a Lasallian which uphold the duty of environmental protection and conservation, I am very privileged to be one of in this holistic activity. To nurture and improve the quality of living of every Lasallian through its environmental advocacies. I must say that we have a significant to our community, at the same time to our country as a whole. This holistic activity will remain in our hearts forever because at every end of our prayer, we always say, leave Jesus in our hearts forever. So here, yung ganitong pagklase ng pagtuturo ay mananatili sa kanilang puso magpakailanman. And one thing that I want to share is the De La Salle Araneta is one of the Lasallian school which is the focus is the agriculture. Isa sa pinakamagandang nakita ko dun sa ginawa nila ngayon is dahil wala namang gumagamit ng field or ng grandstand. Yung kanilang oval, yung kanilang football field ay ginawa nilang plot para sa mga halaman, yung mga edible plants na pwedeng ibigay dun sa ating mga community pantry. Okay? And second is the value of waiting, patience. Patience in waiting for the plants to grow are one of the characteristics one can develop during the course of the activity. This imparts to us knowledge and wisdom of how we, as stewards of God's creation, should handle the blessings that we have been blessed with. Here, natutunan nila yung paghihintay, no, to understand what is the meaning of food chain. Bago mo pala ma-order or bago mo pala makain yung isang bagay, or bago mo ma-consume or to partake, aalamin muna natin kung saan siya nanggaling. Makikita natin that through the sacrifice of our farmers ay nagkaroon tayo ng source ng food, no? At ito ay isa sa mga natutunan nila, magbigay ng value, magbigay ng pagpapahalaga. At naiiwasan natin yung sabihin natin na waste, no? Yung pagtatapon ng pagkain. Okay? And last is what is for me the most touching, no? It wasn't effective as I was still racked with anxiety in most days, but home gardening or home farming, urban gardening was somewhat a distraction to all of this. So meaning ito yung naging answer nila dun sa masamang epekto ng pandemic, especially sa mental health, no? The activity was enlightening. This small task is contributing to a greater good towards the environment. And for the last part of my presentation, I would like to synthesize. And for this video that I prepared, I am honored, no? I am proud to share our family farm advocacy. Ma'am Carla?
Blood na Pilipino sa 702 DZAS Radyo TV, agapay ng sambayanan.
Gumigising ng maaga, panibagong hamon sa'kin ng araw na to.
Sa taniman ni Jesus Farm or para sa taniman ni Jesus Farm.
Samantala, may tuturing na backliners sa paglaban ng COVID-19 ang mga kababayan natin na magsasaka dahil sa kanilang nagmumula po ang produksyon ng pagkain. Isang halimbawa na ang farm owner sa Amadeo, Cavite na naharap sa hamon ng pagsusupply sa merkado, subalit desidido pa rin po na maglingkod sa bayan. May report si Stephanie Sevillano.
Isang maituturing na kayamanan ng aming pamilya ay ang inspirasyon na nagmula sa aming lolo na si Mr. Abunjo Bonjo Ambagan Tibayan at ang kanyang kabiyak, ang aming lola na si Mrs. Natividad Nati Bautista Tibayan. Dahil sa kanilang payak na pamumuhay, dala ang kasipagan, pagsusumikap, pagtsatsaga at kaalaman sa paghahalaman ay matagumpay nilang naitaguyod ang kanilang pamilya. Kaya naman, kinilala ang aming Tatay Bonjo bilang isang modelong mamamayan at magsasaka sa bayan ng Amadeo. At minsan na rin kinilala at naitampok sa programang Ating Alamin ni Ka Jerry Geronimo. Bilang pasasalamat at pagpupugan sa nasimula ng kanyang mga magulang, ay pinagpatuloy ito ng aming ama na si Mr. Jesus Bautista Tibayan. At dito ipinanganak ang pangalang JBT Agri Farm o kilala bilang Jesus Bautista Tibayan Agri Farm o Taniman Jesus. Sa kasalukuyan, katuwang ang buong pamilya ay pinagpapatuloy, pinagbubuti at inaalagaan ang pamanang iniwan ng mga nauna sa amin. Sa tulong at gabay ng ating poong may kapal, nawa ay maging instrumento ang JBT Agri Farm sa pagtulong sa ating kapwa, maging sentro ng agroturismo at pagpapaunlad ng agrikultura sa bayan ng Amadeo at sa mga kalapit lugar nito.
urban farming teaches us that everything needs its time to grow, to flourish, to mature, to be. When we plant a seed, we are very happy. We are happy that we are part of something new. So once again, um, on behalf of JBT AgriFarm, maraming maraming salamat po sa inyong invitasyon. And I am Julius M. Tibayan, and I'm representing the Taniman ni Jesus. And once again, congratulations to Pakonyan Class Batch 97.
Thank you so much, Sir Julius. So, essentially now we know why urban farming is gaining traction. And some key takeaways during your presentation is that I really like the thing that you said about being the inclusivity and working together. Essentially, it's not just like okay, it's for everybody, and then at the same time it doesn't choose any age or any ano kumbaga some sort of age, sex, whatever, diba? So that's nice, and especially women empowerment. And of course the learning side, that's really really important because I do believe that lack of education about certain stuff will never really give us a good future. And of course, actually a lot of takeaways actually. Siguro I like what you said a while ago. How we preserve Mother Nature instead of converting it into an establishment or a manufacturing company. Yeah, I do believe in that as well. And actually, Sir Julius is an eye opener for me because I am from a company that works a real estate company actually. So that's why parang ako, and then listening to what you're explaining about preserving Mother Nature, preserving what we have right now instead of like, you know, creating industrial big buildings or something. I think that's really important na we spread the word to the, well, not just to the young ones but also to, you know, key opinion leaders. And it's not all about money, so it's about helping each other. So maraming salamat po, Sir Julius. Ang sobrang ang dami po naming natutunan sa talk ninyo po. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
And
so
I
much,
think
ma'am.
thank you. And I think we have Q&A, right, guys? So with Sir Erwin now and with Sir Jules. Okay. So I think I have a few questions here for Sir Julius. Hang on. So, what can the urban communities or cities hope to get from urban agriculture? Sir Julius, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So my
Um, yeah.
so the question is what can urban communities or cities hope to get from urban
Yeah.
agriculture?
Mhm. I think one of the siguro the best to describe the impact or the benefit of urban farming is being self-sufficient, self-reliant, especially of the local community. Especially now, the pandemic has its sabihin natin na major yung kanyang epekto sa mga tao, no. But urban farming is definitely is one of our solution in order to mitigate or in order to solve that problem, especially in terms of the lack of source or the lack of access dun sa tinatawag natin na adequate food supply.
Okay, Sir Erwin, when you were discussing earlier about urban agriculture, so this is something to do with gardening in backyard and small space. How often should we replace soil in pots? I mean, like, I wouldn't have an idea, but I hope you can enlighten us on that matter, sir. Can please.
Okay. So for the soil that we're using for pots, so ideally, once you finish one cropping season, you need to replace it. However, syempre, minsan magastos, di ba? So what others do is before they plant anything again, binibilad muna nila sa araw para to make sure that there are no pathogens left in the soil, and at the same time, fresh uli yung lupa mo. And then you add some amendments like compost or vermicast para lang ibalik uli yung nutrients. But ideally, yeah, every cropping season, once na matapos mo yung season for that time, you replace it with a new soil.
Okay, thank you, sir. Right. So another question. Hang on. Um, Sir Irwin, you've mentioned a while ago, no, about fertilization. So, how often do you recommend fertilizing the plants?
For the fertilization, so actually, it will depend on what you put in. Kasi there are nutrients that is needed regularly. So we call them, well, to be technical, there are macronutrients and micronutrients. Similar din sa tao, we have those for plants. So for plants, merong NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And for micronutrients or yung iba, they need that for small amounts. So kung regular, well, I do not suggest anything yet na dapat ganito karami. Better to test your soil first before you put anything sa lupa. And then usually they give recommendations naman before you do something.
Right, right, right. Um, this question it can be answered by both of you. Using plastic containers over time, does it develop any algae? Is it bad? And if yes, how do you prevent it? Who wants to?
Mhm. Okay, I think I can
Answer
answer
that?
naman, yeah.
Okay.
So for that question, so using plastic containers, yes, it will develop algae, and it's bad in a sense kasi it gets nutrients from your soil
Mm-hmm.
or from your ano. So may kaagaw ngayon yung halaman mo for the nutrient. But if it's soil-based kasi, you do not have problems with algae. Mas problema siya kapag you're doing hydroponic or aquaponics.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
if
there are
you're
some
using
companies.
yeah. So if you're using it for let's say for soil, okay lang 'yan. No problem with the algae. Pero if you're doing hydroponics or aquaponics, you might get some problems. And ano yan, usually for the filtration, yun yung nagiging problema, nagpa-block siya sa filtration mo eh. So, you need to clean those.
Oh, so yung hydroponics and aquaponics, parang you're not really suggesting na parang it's a parang good way to start urban
Um,
agriculture, parang ganun.
Hindi naman. Actually, well, every practice for agriculture, every method, meron siyang pros and cons. And hydroponics, actually, there are different kinds of hydroponics as well. So, meron yung mga, they call it yung mga Kratky method or nutrient film technique. You need to do your research first and know the pros and cons. And
Yeah.
once you start,
Kinabahan
so
tuloy ako
syempre,
tanungin, sir.
ano
Kasi
naman, there's no, ano naman,
may pros and cons pala. Akala ko I'm being
oo,
healthy. Vegan na
there's
ako.
no, ano naman, there's no, kumbaga, hindi, and any method is not perfect. Meron niyang ano, kumbaga meron siyang trade-offs
Good
din eh.
and bad, yeah.
But yeah, for me, for starters, if you want to go hydroponics, that's good. Just know lang kung ano yung ano niya, ano lang yung you have to look at or ano yung mga dapat na isalang-alang mo when you do these kinds of urban.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Erwin. So, another question: how can we possibly engage our kids to enjoy farming? I hope that Sir Julius can answer that.
One of the ways na ipinopromote natin is through learning side. We partner with different schools para at least to visit yung mga established farm to be their laboratory. Okay? Bukod sa itinuturo ito sa theoretical or using their manuals or workbook, mapapractice nila to in actual basis. And at the same time, sa amin, pinopromote din namin to as one of the main activity na pwedeng gawin or kailangan lagi nandun yung family engagement. Magkakasama yung buong pamilya, bibigyan namin sila ng pagkakataon to bond through farming.
Oh, that's
So
that is
magtatanim
nice,
sila.
actually.
Yes.
Correct. Good.
Tinuturuan sila to carefully pick yung mga fruits, yung mga vegetables. At the same time, kasama rin nung mga staff namin, pagpunta nila sa main resto or doon na ipe-prepare, pinapakita sa kanila kung paano inihahanda yung pagkain. So yung concept of farm to table ay napakaganda na maging routine, mai-practice lalong-lalo ng mga bata. And sa mga kids, wala tayong problema. Bigyan natin sila ng mga ganitong klaseng activity, mas excited pa sila doon sa mga magulang eh. Talagang nakikita namin na it's a good way para i-promote yung urban gardening sa pinakamaaga nilang edad.
I so totally agree with you, sir, because actually most of the kids are like focusing on their smartphones, tablets, diba? And at least it's another way for them to communicate with their parents by doing this, diba? It's an activity, it's something fun and it's engaging, saves the
Yes.
environment and teaches them to some sort of different discipline, diba? So we kind of
True.
lack that nowadays because everything's like digitalized. So yeah, this is a good way to bond and reconnect kung nawala yung connection nyo before because you're so busy playing Mobile Legends, ganyan, this is a good activity actually. You're right there, Sir Julius. Okay, next question. The plastic container planting, is there a risk of leaching toxins from plastic to plants and to out food? Who can take that question?
Siguro I'll take the question. Be, well, to be fair, yeah, especially for if you're using PVC, so there is a risk na mag-leach chemicals from plastics. But there are stuff na we call them food grade plastics.
Right.
So food grade plastics do not produce or do not uh, leach this toxic chemical to the plants and to the food. And our plants din kasi when they get nutrient, so selective din yan on what they get from the soil. So yeah, there are some technicalities, but in general, it's safe naman to use plastic containers. Just know what container are you using para lang hindi siya risky for our food.
Sir Julius, any recommendation about what's a good container to use?
Yeah, we promote using mga recycled materials. But in terms of the preparation, like said by Sir Erwin, meron din tayo mga maintenance na ginagawa, no? Yung tamang cleaning, para at least maalis natin yung mga natira dong mga sabihin natin magiging source pa ng mga fungicide or pest. So ito yung isa sa mga ginagawa natin. What is important is we use these as alternative. Wag na nating idagdagan pa ng harmful effects of by using chemicals. That is why it's a great partnership. We use recycled materials with the support of natural and organic way of farming.
That's really awesome, actually. I'm
Yeah.
pretty much intrigued with this discussion. No, so parang listening to both of you, essentially makes me like open my mind and like parang hey, I think I'm doing something wrong. So I have to like parang start somewhere and try to fix it. So this is kumbaga parang number one, it's inspiring and it's like, hey, I myself would want to be an agent of change and help the environment, of course, and not just environment, but of course everybody in the economy, the country. How could I possibly help in my own little way? It's not just giving cash, but doing something that is very. It's not just a small thing, even if it's a small thing, but it has a very massive impact eventually. So parang ganun eh. Sobrang simple pero parang whoa, wait a minute. So ko, oh, recycle, upcycling, ganyan. Merong impact sa environment eh. So, and yun yung kulang right now with our current, ang tawag, the current, well, of course, Filipinos, kasi they lack education about it. So, parang I think we really need to spread the word about this because like me for instance it's my first time actually to be honest and now it's an eye opener so actually thank you and like wow as in you made my Saturday morning really exciting and like my husband actually is like making me kulit about urban farming blah 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 now I can now I can like talk to him about it and like share these insights that I got from you guys. This is very, 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 very helpful. And I really had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. Again, thank you, sir. We are grateful for your presence. Thank you, Sir
Thank
Julius.
you.
Thank you, Sir Irwin. Have a great day. This was a very, very, very awesome webinar series. So, okay, guys. So, let me hang on. Okay. So I'm going to give Sir Erwin and Sir Julius their certificates. So please accept this e-certificates as our token of appreciation for sharing your valuable knowledge, time, and effort with us. We hope to see you next for the next webinar for our future engagement. And also, I would like to get in touch with you so that we, as a brand coming from a real estate company, can be advocates like you guys. So thank you, Sir Irwin, and thank you, Sir Julius. There. Here's the certificate of appreciation from the team.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how to. Teka, wala ako. Yan. So there. Okay. Right. So I think we're on overtime. So sorry. So yet again, I would like to thank our speakers for being here today. Um, and then the Paconia 97 Alumni Inc. is immensely grateful for your presence. Thank you, sirs. Then actually for today's webinar, it's just parang one of the many opportunities and possibilities that we can do to celebrate certain occasions, okay, special and benefit the environment we live in. So having said that, the Baconia 97 alumni has thought of providing another pathway and initiative in which its members and the PCS community in general to help protect and conserve the environment while raising funds for its cause. To give us more information about this initiative, let us welcome Ms. Jem Puchero, our Fundraising and Finance Committee Director.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for supporting our webinar. We hope that this will be just one of the many first that possible future engagements that we can provide for our community. As Katz has said, today we are celebrating the World Environment Day, and as a fitting contribution, we are providing another pathway for the members of our alumni community and the PCS community in general to participate in raising funds for the association, and for the legacy programs, and also for the Grand Alumni Homecoming, while also benefiting our most precious environment. This project also aims to fight hunger and, of course, the global climate crisis that we are all facing for the benefit of the present and future generations. So please allow me to show a short video for us to know more about this initiative. Okay, so once again, I am inviting everyone to share in this noble cause, because planting a seed today means we know that things can still change, and we all have the ability to work together in rebuilding and protecting our common home, not that we share. And it also
Agree.
means leading tomorrow's future with much hope and promise for us, for our families, and of course for the present and the future generation. Once again, thank you, and we are counting on your support.
Jem, that was a wonderful video. And yes, of course, our batchmates will definitely support this cause. And if you could still remember, I don't know when you were in senior or parang third year in high school, parang we went to Ternate and plant seeds. And then I don't know if it's full grown now, it's been decades, but we can revisit that or something. So, yun. I can't remember. I don't know if it's an activity with the parents' council or the student council, but yeah, it was them inculcating in our heads, diba? Na, parang this is really important. Let's save the environment and yun. So thank you, Jem. Thank you
Yeah, thanks
for
to Pat.
essentially, you know, organizing this. It's a really it's a thought starter for me, honestly, to be honest, and I'm glad that I'm part of this. So okay, so thanks, Jem. So now, um, okay, I will essentially call in our president and um, BOT for his closing remarks at this point. But actually, as in the words of Catherine Marshall, no matter how little you have, you can always give some it away. So parang it's not just like the value of what you're, it's not, you don't count the value, but what is the impact of that thing or that particular action that you did to the entire society or to the entire world. So there. So may I call it Mr. DM? De Mesa, our president, and Beauty for the closing remarks.
Hello.
There, now we can hear
All
you.
right. Okay. Thank you very much, Katz. All right. I'll take this opportunity to thank our speakers, Mr. Bilen and Mr. Tibayan, for spending your morning sharing your expertise on the subject matters. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Paconia 97 Board of Trustees, Carla, Jerome, Joseph, Rowie, and Carlo, its officers, and the Finance and Fundraising Committee for your valuable contribution in making this happen. So I'd like to extend our appreciation by awarding certificates of recognition to certain people that made it happen. I hope, Carla, you are ready. To you, Katz, thank you very much. Please accept this certificate of appreciation for being our facilitator and master of ceremony. Thank
Thank you
you
so much.
very much.
I appreciate it. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much, Gia. Please accept this certificate of appreciation for helping us on this endeavor and for the idea that started it all. Miss Gia Liza Hardinil Shrestha. Thank you. And lastly, for being the overall project lead and for this wonderful initiative, and to all the projects that will come out of it, let me award to you Miss Gemily Mamayson Puchero this certificate of appreciation. Thank you very much, Gem, for all the hard work. All right. Today, as we celebrate World's Environment Day, I know for sure that we all have learned how to take care of the environment. And I think that's a very much cliche, and that's the last cliche statement that you will get out of me before I close this webinar. So Paconia 1997 Alumni Inc. has just started our green journey by creating its first advocacy program towards the environment. This is across the slant of helping our farmers in the north of the Philippines. The global threat of pandemic, including the local quarantine restrictions imposed by our government in the last 15 months and counting, have truly affected the livelihood of these farmers, therefore affecting, the lives, their way of life. In order to survive and in order to feed their families, combined, of course, with the pressure of capitalists and with the strong desire to produce good harvest for the whole Filipino community, most of these farmers will go out of their way to farm, risking their lives for us in order for your tomatoes, eggplants, radish, and ladyfingers complete our sinigang dishes. So in order to break that cycle and in order to relieve those farmers to give in from those pressures at these very critical times of our lives, we would like to start making our little contribution by harnessing the inner Plantito and Plantita, or the inner urban farmer in all of us through these satellite discussions about environment. We believe that when everybody takes the first step, you are making you're taking your first step, making your own backyard or small spaces become sustainable for your family and becoming less reliant. We know that we are also helping to protect our farmers from the risk of COVID-19. We are also taking part in saving and protecting our environment. With this, may you harness in the inner Plantito or Plantita and the urban farmer in you. May the green thumb be with you all. Thank you very much on behalf of the Paconia 97 Alumni Inc.
All right, DMs, thank you for that message. So once again, this is Katslaw Di Chong. And I want to say thank you to you guys who watched us today and spent their early Saturday morning with us. So thank you and have a nice day. And we hope to see you next time. And God bless. Toodles, bye.